Yes, here it is, Box Office Buddies, and I am here with my brother-in-law. I think it's the first time I review a movie with you as my brother-in-law officially.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Box office family,
yeah, exactly. That's how this works, I review a different movie with someone different each time, and got Brandon back after a while here, and we checked out a interesting one this time. Nobody. This stars Bob Odenkirk of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fame. Who would have thought he's an action star, but that's what's going on now. And yes, this is basically about an ordinary man, someone who seems to have a very boring, routine life, right? And
who's not so ordinary.
Yes, he experiences a home invasion, and from there, things pick up quickly, and to a very large scale. Yeah, just off the top of your head, first impressions. How do you feel?
Yeah, so great movie. I was a little shocked to see Bob Odenkirk in an action movie, but it worked out really well. I was curious and I looked it up afterward. Apparently he took 2 years of training
to train
with a stuntman.
Yeah.
So he does, I think, most of, if not all of his stunts.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I really enjoyed this. I had heard through the grapevine that this was going to be a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I had high expectations, but I wasn't disappointed.
It's a good length of movie.
Amazing. An hour and a half.
Hour and a half, told the story perfectly from beginning to end. Good ending. Yeah, and that's another thing too, is the backstory. They don't give it away right at the beginning. You slowly get bits and pieces as the movie goes along.
Right.
Which kind of like, it's a great way of them letting you into his kind of mind, his past, his present, his future, and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's hard to say too much without spoiling the movie, but this is really good action. Like you mentioned, that the length is great, so I never found myself bored. Like this you are in it from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
There's never like a dull moment in this.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you were mentioning how Bob Odenkirk trained for this for so long to, he's not getting ripped like Chris Hemsworth here to be Thor or anything, but he's just very believable in the role of
absolutely
this unassuming man who ends up becoming, let's just say, someone who can take care of business. It's interesting because apparently this story is inspired by Bob Odenkirk, who himself experienced the home invasion and trapped the trespassers in his basement. So
he produced the movie as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was heavily involved in it, and really, really good movie. I mean, if I'm going to complain, I could nitpick. The most obvious thing is this does feel very redundant of John Wick at times.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's different because he's not like a serial killer. He's
not an assassin. He's
just a regular guy.
Right. So. But so's John Wick, right? And then you find out about his past that he was also...
Sure.
It's a complaint in the sense that it does remind you a lot of John Wick, but it's not a big deal to me. Like, I love John Wick, so why not have more movies like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's...
Yeah, very tasteful action sequences. John Wick vibes, but with... I mean, you can tell it's not John Wick, but...
Right.
It's its own...
Yeah, exactly.
It's its own thing.
Exactly. It is still creative in other ways. Let's put it that way. And then the other thing that I personally didn't enjoy, I don't know how you feel, was the music. Sometimes the choices I found a bit strange, and it took me out of the experience of being in the movie.
See, and I disagree. I kind of think the complete opposite.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the music. I thought the song choices fit perfectly for what was going on.
Okay.
And because he's an older man, they kind of did older music.
Yeah, there's a lot of retro, like 60s rock in there.
And not only the music, but like because Bob Odenkirk's a comedian, like there was the funny in there too, which was very different from John Wick. So it's at multiple points during the movie, I was like, "What am I watching? Because is this funny? Is it serious? Is it
exactly.
action? It's just blended so well together."
It's a lot of fun. We'll get into it maybe a bit later, but like with the character of his dad too, that brings a lot of humor into this.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Doc from Back to the Future, who plays his dad, and then his friend is played by RZA or RZA.
The RZA from Wu-Tang Clan, and it's actually his brother.
But yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of action movies, this is one to see. I can't really say much more than that. This a great action movie, one of the best I've seen in a long time, if not ever.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely worth it.
And more on the unique side of story-wise.
Sure.
Like, it's not your classic run and gunner and explosions everywhere.
Right.
It's a tasteful action movie. You know? I don't know. I keep saying that word, but it's just great. Go see it.
I don't know. It's just everything about this, except like I said, for me, maybe the music took me out of it a few times.
Okay.
Other than that, I have no complaints. It was solid.
Very, very well done. Cinematography was great.
Yeah. I haven't been this excited about reviewing a movie in a while, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good news. Hopefully more of this in the future.
More original movies.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. How do you want to do this? You want to emoji this movie? You want to Marvel the Matrix it?
I'd maybe John Wick 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to compare it to John Wick.
But John Wick 1 with
really
some
is.
comedy.
Yeah. There's definitely some interesting comedy. And also, I mean, in this first scene of the movie, you see him with a cat and you're like, oh boy, is this like John Wick with the dog, you know? But no, don't worry. It's not that much of a ripoff or anything. It's just, interesting movie for sure. Especially what sends him off on his
yes. We'll
journey.
Talk about that
well.
later.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this a Live Free or Die Hard, which is my second favorite Die Hard movie. I find it so much fun, and that was one of those movies where I remember watching in theaters, enjoying the action the whole way through. Although this is much more realistic, I'm gonna say that. But
yes.
But I just remember watching that movie and enjoying all the action and just laughing the whole way through. Really entertaining, and just a lead character that you really enjoy getting behind. So yeah, that's about it for now. We are going to get into another segment after this with a bit of spoilers. But if you haven't seen it yet, this is the end. But thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell as well, and the likes. Give me those likes, comments, share the video, and we'll be catching you soon. Now we are getting into spoilers. You mentioned the comparison to John Wick, and we talked about the journey, how with John Wick he gets into this because his dog dies, right? And this, it's basically because his daughter's kitten bracelet gets stolen.
The kitty cat bracelet is stolen. So that was one of my what am I watching moments, because is it an action? Is it a comedy?
I like that. It's a movie doesn't have to come up with some crazy like, oh, the world's about to end and so this person needs to do no, he's a family man. His daughter's bracelet got stolen. He's like, no, I'm not accepting this. I want that bracelet. Yeah,
because the whole point is he wanted out of his hitman game.
Yeah.
To have a family, and then this was his breaking point. We're putting him back in. And he's gonna get his bracelet back for his daughter. So.
Yeah. and then you get taken through the journey right away. He's in the tattoo shop. You see that this guy there's some sort of reason, right? With
When he sees the
7-2 tattoo.
tattoo on his sleeve, gotta go, and locks like 14 locks on the door.
Yeah. Yeah, and then from there it just picks up the bus fight, which is so cool.
Yeah, and so what's cool is the director was saying the bus fight was done in a way so that you could see the rust on him. Like you can tell he's an old man. He's like hasn't done his stuff in a while.
Yeah.
He takes
he gets beaten up, man.
He takes some serious blows, but those other people, man, oof.
Yeah.
They all ended up in the hospital.
That's one of the things I loved about it was that this wasn't like some like kung fu master who just owns everyone without a scratch. He takes on these 4 or 5 guys. I don't know how many, but
it's 5, I think.
Okay, and he gets knocked around bad. But I love that he's kind of like he's more than an ordinary guy, but he's still like a person who feels pain and then just doesn't care. He's just such like a...
But at the same time, he's not. It's just... the movie is just great.
Yeah, really cool. Good title, too, that describes... He seems like a nobody, but then he ends up being some crazy military operative who's done who knows what. And that's why I'm saying I could watch other movies, because it would just, like... There's so much backstory that they've kind of hinted at that they could unravel.
Even at the very, very end... When the police are interviewing him, like, who are you? Well, I'm nobody. And then both police have their phone ring, and then you can tell it's like, let him go.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
he's got connections, like.
Yeah, and we talked a bit about the brother.
Yeah.
And the dad, of course, who's not going to enjoy watching Doc with shotguns blowing people's heads off. That fight too in the at the end there in the workshop or whatever was really cool.
Adult Home Alone.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, Adult Home Alone, the latest Rambo is also pretty good. Rambo Last Blood.
I have not seen that. No.
That's Home Alone for adults too. It's a fun movie.
Another bonus Marvel The Matrix, Bad Boys 1.
Okay.
Action comedy.
Yeah. It's on that level, right? Like I think this will end up being a cult classic.
Yeah,
it's that.
Because the comedy too is very subtle a lot of the time.
Right.
It's not like in your face. Maybe less in your face than Bad Boys. That's very.
Yeah. That's more like buddy cop movie, but no, this is still. I mean, even that scene where the guys come to kill the dad in his home, and he just has him there as he's dying with the.
Oh, sorry. Let me turn the volume down.
Yeah, exactly. Moments like that are just like hilarious, but. I don't know. I believed it. I bought it.
Even at the end, when the RZA and Doc are in the RV, I don't even remember their character names, but in the RV, and he's like, "How many people did you kill in the stairwell? 3 with 1 shot." Like,
that was so cool.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
And then and then the dad was like, "Oh, I don't believe it. I don't think you could have done that." It's just, it's great.
Yeah. Very self-aware, tongue-in-cheek, but yeah. Pleasant surprise in a way, because I knew it was going to be good, but
yeah, I went into it, I had no idea what I was getting into. I absolutely no idea. I knew it starred Bob Odenkirk, and I knew nothing else, and I think that's the best way to watch it.
That's how you got to go into movies.
I wish I mentioned that earlier.
I always want to watch my movies without knowing much about them, but yeah, this is one of the ones where like you see why you understand why that it's good to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Usually I'm a trailer kind of guy, but...
No.
This was good.
Yeah. Fantastic. And thanks for
no problem.
doing the review, and thanks for watching it, guys. And we'll be seeing you soon.